Senator Langford, thank you. Thank you for leading this effort here today, this very important conversation. I also want to thank Senator Blunt, Senator Ernst, Senator Sass for joining us today as well in this discussion. Mr. President, 28 years ago, I became a first-time dad. And by the grace of God, we got to see 3 more children born after our first child, David, was born. I can tell you my wife, Cindy, and I, we were excited, a little bit terrified when we welcomed David into the world. And as a parent, I think one of the most toughest things is to see your child in pain. I remember when David cried, I would have given an arm and a leg to stop that pain. I remember when just a little baby taking David to the pediatrician, maybe to get that shot and so forth, and the pain David felt and the screams and the crying, I think it was much, much harder on the parents than on the baby. And I think we all recognize the pain a child feels after they're born. But as I've got on and researched this issue of pain and babies and so forth, the science tells us that a baby feels pain before they're born. And Senator Sass mentioned earlier that we are one of the few nations that allows elective abortion at any time during a pregnancy, one of 4 any time during a pregnancy. The question is, if we were 1 hour before delivery, the baby's 1 hour from being delivered, as a nation, can we at least agree that we should have a law that says abortion should not be allowed? Because it's pretty clear that that baby's going to feel pain. The question is, at what point do we know that they feel pain during the pregnancy? It's shocking to think that our nation loses 13,000 children a year to late-term abortion. Now, of course, we can have the debate, and we should have the debate about all abortions, but really we're focused on today on late-term abortions. 13,000 children a year die to late-term abortion. At 20 weeks, these babies can suck their thumb, they can yawn, they can stretch, they can make faces, and the science shows these babies are also capable of feeling pain. Our ears may be deaf to their cries, but we don't have to live in ignorance. Not when research and even common sense tells us these unborn children feel pain. In fact, there's a reason that unborn babies are oftentimes given anesthesia during fetal surgery. That's why we must pass the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act. It is unconscionable that we are allowing unborn children as old as 20 weeks, that's 5 months, to be killed when they can feel pain. In fact, do a Google search. If you have a smartphone, you're sitting in front of a computer, type in 20 weeks into Google. You don't have to type in even baby, just type in 20 weeks. And then take a look at the pictures, the images that come up after you complete that search. This is one of them. In fact, I just had my smartphone last night, and I said to my staff, I typed in 20 weeks in the Google search. This is the image that comes up. How can we say that that is not a baby? And while much of the media turned a blind eye to the atrocious acts of Kermit Gosnell, and they didn't watch the horrific videos taken undercover at Planned Parenthood clinics, many of us did. We did watch. And we cannot sit in silence. Most of us would not wish that treatment on even our most hated of enemies, let alone a child of any age. The U.S. is just one of 7 countries that allows elective abortions after 20 weeks. It's not a good list to be on. It's the same list that we share that has China and North Korea on it. As an American citizen, I believe in our founding principle that all men, all women are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. As a person of faith, I am called, we are called, to help the most vulnerable in our society. And as a United States Senator, it is my honor to support this legislation, the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act. And I urge its swift passage.